Now, honestly, I feel like for a long time, I didn't understand how I felt about the whole "this is grown" conversation. But as I've gotten older, I realized, yeah, putting adult things or more mature things on a child and then just calling it self-expression, saying let kids be kids, is actually very detrimental, specifically because we already know how the world sees Black girls and in particularly Black children. It's not just hair, it's not just nails, it's not just clothes. When society already adultifies the hell out of Black children, importantly, doesn't see them as children. The world already sees Black girls as grown. So why are we helping them do it?
Baby, let's talk about it for a moment. A lot of women in this day and age be dressing their little daughters grown as hell. Understand what I'm saying, baby? I'm talking about from being a little infant, baby, to being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, baby. Understand what I'm saying? Like, y'all be letting these little girls out here with these half little shirts on, little shorts, big ass baby hairs like us adults have. Weave, you see what I'm saying? Wigs, like all that type of shit, makeup, all that type of shit. But when some bullshit happened, now you want to be mad. Now you want to be mad. When really, it's your fault. You don't want to take accountability for being responsible for a child that you're dressing like that. That you're having your child's hair done like that. Understand what I'm saying? Y'all know it's perverts on this world. All that type of shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, find your fucking morals. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit together, because your shit is not together if your child is out here dressing like that, looking like us grown ass women.
What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. And today, as you guys can see by the title, we're going to be having a very difficult conversation. This has been on my video ideas list for maybe 2+ years now. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. And that is the sexualization of Black children, but primarily Black girls. Because I need to understand, is it a fast thing or is it a Black girl thing? Now, I know every single one of you guys watching this video, whether you're white, Black, Hispanic, Native, etc., can possibly relate to this conversation because it's happened to you personally, or it's happened to someone else that you know that is Black, Latina, or just honestly a wide variety of different ethnic backgrounds. Because this is something that, like, I feel like is starting to manifest in different ways nowadays. A lot of people are starting to talk about their experiences, starting to talk about the aftermath of them being adultified. Okay, there you go. Adultified, fetishized, and so on and so forth. So I really want to hear your comments down below before we start. Have you ever been sexualized, adultified, fetishized, or anything in that realm? How did it affect you? And most importantly, do you see it as much today as you did back in the day? Now, just to kick it off, I've been honestly all three, okay? I've been adultified by my parents, fetishized and sexualized by, I guess I should say, community. I've been in therapy for the past 6 years or so, mainly because I no longer take medication. I was diagnosed bipolar. I have ADHD, binge eating disorder, seasonal depression, yada, yada, right? So I stopped taking meds because I just didn't like the way they made me feel. So I opted to stay in therapy, and I've been unpacking a lot of different things, and it's insane how much I've been through and how much it doesn't really faze me anymore. But I believe a lot of the experience manifests in different ways. So I've literally been adultified, fetishized, and sexualized, and then any other eyes that you can think of, right? I've been adultified by my parents. I've always had to take care of them and everything in general in my family. Like, I'm that point person. When someone can't do something, it's, oh, ask Ivana, have Ivana do this. I've been sexualized by, I shall say, community, where, you know, I've lived in the hood and I've had grown ass men, 18, 28, 31, talk about some, hit me up when you're 18. Absolutely disgusting. I did not hit any of them up when I was 18. But I will say, when I was like maybe 16, 17, 18, I was messing with older men. And it's insane because I knew better, but there's just something about that, like, that, how do I explain it? there's something about having an older man talk to you that speaks to you in a way, whether you had a father or you didn't have a father, whether you grew up in the hood or you didn't grow up in the hood, whether you know better or not. It's just, there's a pull. And I've talked about this before. I'm going to link that video down below. We're not going to really focus too much on that. And of course, I've been fetishized. It's very weird. Like, I'll never forget when I was like 9, I had a boy talking about some, oh, you have DSLs, child. I was like 9, so I didn't know what the fuck a DSL was. Okay, it took maybe a year or two to understand what the hell is DSL. Okay, DSL means DICK, sucking lips. Disgusting, right? Yeah, so I've experienced all of it. It is what it is at this point, but I've realized over time that I'm starting to see the same patterns in different ways with children. And just like, you know, my friend groups and stuff, like, especially with social media and stuff, it's like, it's not the way we experienced it really growing up, but it's happening in different ways. So of course, like I said, comment your experiences down below. I would love to hear them. Make sure you guys hype up the video, smash the like button, share it with your friends or whatever, because a lot of y'all just watching and you're not doing anything, and it's not doing it for me. All right. Also, follow me on Instagram, and shout outs to all of you guys who have been supporting the nonprofit. I appreciate you so very much. Next month's set of dance classes are going to be hip hop. They're going to be in Belleville, New Jersey. If you're interested, everything is right here on the QR code on the screen. Additionally, we do have multiple channels. Make sure you check out the channel that suits your needs. We have this channel, Ranch Reactions Commentary, Haitian channel, Haitian Voodoo Politics and Folklore, and my personal channel where we do vlogs, story times, sit downs, etc. So let's get back into these talking points. So like I said, this video, honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. This video is gonna be very uncomfortable. And that's probably why I haven't done it, because it's like, ooh, like, how do I talk about this in a way that isn't so uncomfortable? But you gotta be uncomfortable to get comfortable. And in order for change to start in a community, or to start period, you have to start with yourself. You have to start with being honest, and most importantly, you have to look at things from different perspectives, because everyone has different perspectives, right? Black girls are often labeled as fast or grown as opposed to other kids in other race and ethnic backgrounds. Most of the time, we're not allowed to do a lot of the things that other kids do out of fear of being fetishized, adultified, or sexualized. Society adultifies Black girls because they see them as older, bearing more responsibility, stronger, sexual, less innocent. Honestly, the list goes on and on. Hence why a lot of us are treated a certain way in society, depending on your demographic, where you live, where you're around. Like, there's so many different things. I'm very sure there's some of you guys watching this that cannot relate to any of this, and I'm so happy for you, because to be honest, that is a blessing. But at the same time, I feel like you should be aware, because more than likely someone you come across will be going through the same thing. Now, understand that everything I'm talking about in this video is not just limited to Black girls. However, I grew up as a Black girl, and I can only really talk about Black girls. All right. I'm also Haitian American, and it's honestly probably the same in the Haitian community, if not worse in many other aspects, because there's other nuances that go into being Caribbean as a whole. So in general, don't sit here and watch this video like, oh, like, what, this happened to me too. Like, I don't know why y'all do that. Like, we don't struggle Olympics, leave it at the door. Okay, I don't have time. All of the ideas I explained in the beginning really does add to why Black girls are oftentimes not protected, not worried about, and again, lack that innocence and are not able to just be kids. Now, where exactly does it come from? I want you guys to comment down below, because I know there's going to be so many different answers, because this has been happening since like the dawn of time. This is not something that just started happening, or we could pinpoint it to a certain decade. Black girls have almost always been told, don't be fast, don't be this, don't be that. And it's interesting, because I'm thinking about my own upbringing. Like, I was an entire virgin, and I had adults calling me fast, okay? Calling me chaud, okay? That's what they call it in the Haitian community, which means hot. And I never understood it, because like, I never touched anyone. I wasn't really hanging out with boys. But that goes on to my first point. Sometimes a lot of girls are labeled as fast, etc., simply because they are outspoken. And I've always been very, very outspoken. I've always spoken up for myself and others. When I've seen adversity, I've always been very fuck around and find out, because you're not going to talk to me any type of way. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're an adult. I don't care if you're a child. I don't care if you're my peer. Like, don't talk to me any type of way. Don't bully in front of me. Don't say anything disrespectful. Again, I don't care if you're an adult, because I'm going to call you out on your shit. And I feel like being like that, or being an outspoken woman, is something that a lot of women don't talk about, because quite frankly, a lot of us don't give a fuck. It's like, you like us or you don't. Okay. Like, women that are like me, we genuinely don't give a fuck. And it comes to a point where it's like, sometimes it could break you. Sometimes it could make you feel some type of way, because you get those labels that really do not pertain to how you really are. Another label is difficult. Another one is challenging. Another one is ghetto, loud, rambunctious. Like, there's so many different words. And it's like, no, I'm telling people about themselves. I'm always going to tell people about themselves, and I don't give a fuck. I cannot tell you how many times I've had people comment on this, like, oh, you know, I like this video, but like, I can't with the yelling. I can't with the cursing. Oh, there's a certain way to say things. I don't give a fuck. Like, point blank, period. I truly don't care. Don't like, don't watch. I've been saying that for years, since I started this channel. Don't like, don't watch. Like, I'm not going to change the way I do anything for anyone. It's not that difficult. And what happens is, a lot of people, they're like, oh, okay, well, you know, if that's how she is, that's how she's gonna be, then let's put a label to it. When it's like, you just don't like me, or you don't like something that I've done, you don't like something that I said, and you need to just move on, because we don't mesh. Point blank, period. Now imagine, right? You're super outspoken. You don't take shit from nobody, and you add the aesthetics to it. Now, I've actually done a few videos on the people dressing their kids grown situation. And it's interesting, because I always get a mixed opinion, but I feel like now a lot of us are starting to like look at this and be like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good thing. And when I talk about aesthetics, I'm talking about the hair, the nails, and the outfits, right? Now, it's no secret, right, that society has been plagued by social media in such a horrible way, but many good ways as well. I've been able to make a living off of social media. Most of the jobs that I've had have not been able to surpass what I make on social media. So I'm blessed. And I think there's a place for social media if used safely. However, I do not believe that children belong on social media. I believe maybe if they are already a public figure, like say if they're in a movie or they're doing modeling, you know, there's certain exceptions to that rule, but I do not believe children should actively be running their social media accounts. I do not believe that children should be on social media like all day, every day. I feel like if you're going to give your kid a smartphone, then don't be mad of the consequences, because at the end of the day, the internet is dangerous. Social media is dangerous. You have people out here with legit social media addictions now. Like, this is a real thing. And I called it. I said it was going to be a thing, because it gets to a point where like these kids can't do anything. They cannot focus without social media. And unfortunately, a lot of their parents are the same exact way. You see now, right? Back in the day, we had bully go-go. That's what we call it in Creole. Like, so what is it called in English? We had barrettes, like these big ball barrettes in our hair. We had little mini twists or whatever. But now, see 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds with like straight bust down weaves down to their butt. You see children wearing wigs in middle school. You see literally like 12-year-olds walk around with the latest iPhone. You see them with the trending outfits, and it's just like, it could be very uncomfortable, especially when it's like a 3-year-old with what is obviously extensions in their hair. Now, it's one thing for it to be like a cute little color streak, right? Or, you know, for it to be like just a hat. I don't know. Like, the trending part isn't the problem. The problem is like, why are we putting what can be deemed as adult themed items on children, and then we yell at them for being grown, and we're calling them fast, and we're calling them difficult, we're calling them challenging, but it's like, why are we putting this on our children then? And then you have the kids with the acrylics. Like, I know kids as young as 10 with legit acrylics on, and I'm trying to figure out what shop is sitting here doing this to these kids. And if it's not that, you know, it's the little press-ons, and I don't understand it. Like, especially when kids are supposed to be outside exploring, playing, you know, out with their friends. Like, why do we need nails? Like, I don't get it. And I do feel like it's just a tad bit too grown, depending on how you do it. The thing is, I know there's going to be people that are like, oh, well, you know, kids can model, and, you know, some kids have issues like alopecia. Like, oh my God, we're not talking about that. And that's how I know we're doing as a society, because y'all literally make excuses for caca all day. Like, respectfully, your kid is not a model. They're just on Instagram. Someone needs to tell y'all this, because I'm not understanding why we're justifying, oh, well, my kid's a model. No, what contract? You can mess around and give the kid a straight bob, And some people will say that's grown. Personally, I don't think that's grown. I don't think straightening hair is grown. Like, I think a lot of people think that too. I remember my parents, well, my mom in particular, she was one of those like, oh, nah, you're too young to straighten your hair. I believe I finally got my hair straightened for my first communion. I believe I was in elementary or heading into middle. That was the first time I had my hair straightened, and I still wasn't able to have it all out. Like, I had it like half up, half down, and then there was like weave added to the top, and then the bottom had like tracks. I felt so pretty. I felt so grown. I told you. And it was funny because my mom did not want it. Like, it was the people in the salon. I was like, no, like, do it. It's cute. It's a communion. Da, da, da. And she finally let me do it. But I kid you not, that shit was out of my hair, like, by the end of the communion. Like, my mom was not having it. And for a very long time, I kind of, like, had that thought, like, I don't understand why this makes me uncomfortable. I could not understand why I did not like seeing children with weave and wigs and nails. Because I'm like, well, is this grown? Is it not? And then over time, I started sitting to myself like, yeah, this is just a tad bit inappropriate. Like, maybe kids shouldn't be walking around like this. And it wasn't until I started seeing people literally like flex their kids on the internet with full blown outfits you would see like on a 21, 25-year-old, on like a 7-year-old, that I was like, yeah, that's what I don't like. There's no reason why a kid should be in a crop top. Absolutely none, unless they're going to the beach or they're going to the pool. And even at that, you could get a bigger cover up. Okay, there's absolutely no reason a child should be wearing booty shorts and knee highs, like fishnet stockings. Like, that shit is crazy to me. Like, it is extremely crazy. And it also goes for the boys as well. Like, why are we dressing up these boys like the men who've left y'all? I said what I said. I meant what I said, and I'll say it again. There's no reason why we should have these little boys and these decked out chains and these baggy ass clothes. Why are kids sagging? Like, why are kids sagging? It's uncomfortable because that in itself is considered grown, but that is not the child's fault, and that is not conducive to the child's behavior. That is you dressing your child up like that and then being confused as to why people are saying that your child looks grown or, is acting grown or whatever. It's like we put these, these outfits or whatever on our kids, and then we're like, oh, well, we don't see how it's grown. It's like, come on now. The average 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old is not walking around dressed like this. They're truly not.
This one is for parents. Parents. Some people are forthrightening the children. And I say some people because I don't even know if you can call that parenting. You're dressing up the children way before their time, dressing them in garments that, let them take time. You're contouring them, doing all these kind of stuff. Like this picture here is of a 7-year-old girl, and this is supposed to be her birthday photo shoot. And then you're just saying, if she looks like this at age 7, you can see they've gone to town with the makeup. They've done the most. And you're just like, and this is just for the fashion people who are doing fashion as well. Some of the clothes that I see are totally unacceptable. The way in which the clothes cut, the midriff area all showing off, all these kind of things. I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Like, leave the children and let them be.
So, unpopular opinion. Whoever started this trend by dressing your kid like an adult, like they go into a club, is not cute, okay? And you as a parent needs to be evaluated. You should not be dressing your kid in leather shorts or leather pants and a crop top. What happened to some nice overalls? Oh, smiles for daddy, mommy's best friend. What happened to those little cute outfits? Put them in that. Dressing them like they go into a club, it wants to get down, dirty, sweating, dancing, and twerking, that is not cute. Why are we dressing our kids like they grown? Like, no. And this is why kids be growing up fast. Because they dressing like adults.
So I was walking to my friend, right? And then I see this girl, and I'm like, wow, she looks mad good. Like, good for her. She looks banging. And I told my friend, I'm like, I'm not gay, but I like looking at women because I think women are very beautiful. So, my friend tells me, you do realize she's like 15, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck you talking about? She's 15. She ain't no fucking 15. Look what she's wearing. And then she turns around and she had a baby face. And I'm like, no. And then her friends came and they all look so fucking young. And when I tell you I wanted to throw myself off of a fucking building in that moment. Who the fuck lets these kids out These young ass kids with fucking booty shorts. Who are the parents? This is getting out of hand. These young girls are looking like fucking hoochie mamas. Alright, and then there's creeps. There's a lot of creeps around here. And if I, a woman who's not gay, was like, yo, she's hot, imagine what a fucking creep is gonna say.
The next one that falls into the category of aesthetic is makeup. Now, it's funny because I've mentioned this briefly in other videos and stuff before, and I almost always get the same answer of, oh, well, didn't you play in your mommy's makeup growing up? My mother never wore makeup growing up. Fun fact, all she did was kind of do a little powder, but she never did mascara. She never did lashes. She never did eyeshadow. She never did any of that growing up. Therefore, I never cared to, and I will say I'm very thankful to her for that because I will go any and everywhere without makeup. I'll pull up to a wedding without makeup. I'll pull up to one of my events without makeup because I'm pretty. Point blank period. I don't need it. And I feel like her not wearing makeup really kind of like made me not give a fuck to wear makeup. Like I didn't start wearing makeup for real till I was like maybe 2021. I think I have a video somewhere on this channel of me putting makeup on for the first time. I don't care for it because I don't need it. My insecurities do not lie there. They just don't. And I'm not saying if you wear makeup, you're insecure. However, I feel like when it comes to a lot of kids, especially you emulate what you see, okay? Whether that is toxic environments or your mom wearing makeup every single day and you never seen her face, or your mom wearing a weave all the time and you never seen her hair, or your community being dangerous and everybody's violent and now you're gonna fight because that's, you know, what happens. That's what happened to me. So it's just like you emulate what your environment shows you. And for me, my mom never sat there and played in makeup. Therefore, I never cared for it. And I feel like a lot of people, okay, kind of don't think about what that does to a kid's psyche, especially so young, when you're letting them play in makeup or making them or letting them believe that makeup is the only way to feel pretty, right? Hair is the only way to feel pretty. The longer, the better. The straighter, the better. If your hair is kinky or coily, then, you know, like you need to do something with it. It's not done. You shouldn't be wearing an afro. Like there's so many things that we hear growing up, especially as Black girls, that really contribute to us being a certain way that can be very, very negative to ourselves or negative to, you know, our children in the long run. Like the whole idea of sitting here thinking to myself, like I'm really sitting here thinking like, yo, like I remember having friends that was wearing makeup in like high school, like full beat. A lot of them would literally like never go outside without makeup. And it was just so tragic because there were times where like they couldn't wear makeup, or like the times where their makeup would be messed up. Maybe they had swimming. We had swimming in my high school. Or maybe, you know, like it was dance practice or they had to run track and they would freak out. Like, oh no, I need to put something on my face. Da, da, da. And it's like, that is so sad. And of course, the makeup, the hair, the nails, the outfits can lead to the sexualization of children because at the end of the day, it makes you look older. All of it genuinely does make you look older. There's no reason why anyone under the age of 18, to be quite frank, should be wearing a combination of these things, whether it's just fake nails and the outfits, or the outfits and the hair, or just the hair and the makeup. It's like, there's no reason why children should be wearing this shit at all. That stuff is geared more towards adults, specifically when it comes to older kids, right? So like high school, I feel like it's not that bad if it's something small, right? A little blush, a little lip gloss, a little, like, I don't think it's that deep, but it's like wearing a full beat to school every day in high school is actually kind of crazy to me. Like I used to dress up every day in high school. I used to wear heels all the time. Like I was like really decked out. And now that I think about it, I'm like, that also could have been seen as like a little bit sexualized. Like to this day, I still wear heels all the time. Most of the time now I'm not because I'm teaching dance classes, but it's like, I could see how that could also be something that's deemed more sexual or whatever. But I also want to think about it in a way of, if I was a white girl, would it be seen as sexualized? Would I be thinking that? I don't know, because I feel like white people grew up differently, different social norms, different ways of life than we did, even though like we're all human. And people love to say that. At the end of the day, we do have different communities, different upbringings, different lifestyles. I know there's going to be people that comment because I've realized this too. Oh, well, you know, this is what the people are selling, so I have to put this on my kid. No, you don't. There's plenty of places that sell child appropriate clothing. You can get a bigger size so the child's not wearing a crop top. Like we need to get it together.
I realize I'm probably going to get some shit for this, But when did we decide that babies and toddlers need to wear something like this with parts of the chest cut out? And what 8, 9, 10-year-old girl do you know was going jogging in a crop top? For who? For what? No, you can catch my little daughters wearing this all summer. This is appropriate for children.
Now, I don't know who this child is, but I know that her grandmother is Blanche Devereaux. I'm completely at a loss as to where this child would be wearing this dress, but it has to be to a ball, okay, at her granddaddy's mansion.
I was out and about today and I went into a few shops and I was shocked when I saw these children dressed as adults. Why aren't children dressing like children these days? Like, I saw a few girls and they were just in some little tank tops thing. I don't even know what to call those, because is that clothes? When I go on the road, I'm dressing up to the T because I am cold and I need to be warm. But when I saw these children, they don't look like children. There are too many perverts out there for kids to be dressing like that. There was this one girl, she had on like a tights, and you could see everything print out, and I'm like, Mama Jesus. They look like they're maybe about 10, 11, 12 the most, and they're wearing these kind of clothing.
Of course, another reason that contributes to the sexualization of children and the idea of us being grown, society and media and how they portray Black women as a whole, right? It is actually kind of disgusting when you kind of look into how old a lot of these artists and like actresses and models were when they started, and the type of shit that they were doing. Like, do you know that Rihanna was only like 17 when she came out? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Beyonce may or may not have like kind of gotten with Jay-Z when she was underage. Of course, we have that whole situation with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. It's just like, it comes to a point where it's just like, that is disturbing and that is disgusting, right? And it's the fact that people think that that's normal. It's the fact that people don't even bat an eye when they see this happening. Now, I think I need to do a whole separate video of like the websites and stuff with the clothes and how they're trying to portray children in their ads, because I think that has a big part to do with it, even though that's way more recent, but that's, again, a whole nother topic. But us as a society, we need to start saying no. Like, when we see these kids coming out, breaking into the industry, and they're 15, 16, 17, and they look like they're 28, we as a society need to be like, yeah, nah, like, put her in some clothes. Because it's really sad that, especially when it comes to like music and movies and stuff, like, we only, well, not we, because I ain't part of that, but society seems to only care about like sex appeal, because sex sells, but it's like, these are kids. Of course, we have adults that project their own ideologies onto their children. And that goes back to the aesthetic situation, because a lot of people kind of feel like, you know, I didn't have this growing up. This is what's trending. I'm going to give it to my child. I'm going to let my child get it. I don't see the big deal, without thinking about the ramifications of such, right? Why are you letting your kid walking around with booty shorts with their ass hanging out and a crop top? Like, at least pick one. At least wear a crop top with sweatpants. At least wear the booty shorts with a longer shirt. Like, I'm just saying, at least have a little bit of compromise. But it's like, oh, well, I didn't look at it. She picked it out. It's whatever. And it's like, no. Okay, like, y'all need to really look at what your kids are wearing, and most importantly, what you're letting them purchase. And again, most importantly, what you're purchasing for your children. And then, of course, there's that misinterpretation of sexualization versus personal confidence or personality. Kind of back to what I said with people calling me difficult and calling me hot and calling me fast, because I spoke up for myself. And, you know, wearing heels every day when I like to wear heels, they were comfortable for me. I liked the way they look. I liked getting dressed up, right? So it's interesting because I know a lot of people called me grown for wearing heels. Like, a lot of people. And it's like, I don't see the big deal. But I guess I could see the argument. Like, I wasn't wearing stripper heels. like, I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize it because, like, I feel like I never really sat down and thought about it until I started making these videos. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can see it. Like, I don't agree with it, but I guess I can see it because everyone has different perspectives, but it's still ridiculous. Bottom line, age and intention matters. A lot of us are allowing children to do things way too early, and it is robbing them of their innocence. And then on top of that, them doing a lot of these things is portraying to society that they are grown, right? That they are able to handle certain things when we know that they're not, right? For us, a lot of us, right? We just like, oh, it's just a shirt, it's just some nails, it's just some hair, but it's not. Especially as a Black girl, we already know we are looked at a certain way that is different than a lot of others. And then, of course, there's the idea of self-expression. Are we letting these kids express themselves? Or are we pushing them more towards adult presentation? Because I feel like that's the argument with a lot of parents, especially. Oh, they're expressing themselves. I don't see the big deal. Da, da, da. And it's like, you don't see the big deal until shit start happening to these kids, because unfortunately people are looking at them in a certain way that they shouldn't, but because they have these things that are typically on adults, that they're going to be looked at certain type of thing or that certain way. Parents may see it as harmless, right? They think it's fun, it's just hair, it's just nails. But in a world that does not see Black girls as harmless, we have to move differently because of the reality. Now, of course, we have the double standards, right? I kind of touched on it in the beginning, but here it goes. Other kids can do this, but we can't. Literally, other kids can do this, but we can't. This is the thing, right? I don't like being compared to other motherfuckers. I just don't. Don't compare me to anyone. I don't care who it is, whether it's a friend, whether it's a creator. Like, I can't stand it. Low key, it's one of my pet peeves. Oh, you remind me of such. Oh, you do your content like such. Oh, da 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 da. Well, like, white girls do this. I don't give a fuck what they do. A lot of times it is a talking point. It is a reference. It is used as something as a comparison if I usually do it. But a lot of times I feel like when a lot of people do it, it's like, oh, well, if they could do that, then I could do that. Y'all need to understand we're Black. That's it. At the end of the day, they're white, they're Asian, they're native, they're whatever. People are whatever they are in whatever respective whatever. And unfortunately, we are all treated differently based off that. Can we sit here and try to be like, oh, well, I'm breaking those societal norms and, I'm going to do what I want to do, or I'm going to do this, that, specifically because, they don't expect us to? Because yes, you can. However, you need to be mindful of what message it sends, and you need to be mindful of, while you're trying to break these norms, your children are involved of possibly getting hurt. Your children are more than likely going to experience something way out of their depth and way out of their social norms, because you don't care that because they're Black, they're going to be treated differently. Like, it's just the bottom line and the fact of the matter. Okay, the fact of the matter is, because we're Black, there's a lot of things we can't do. We are not afforded the same luxuries as others to just have a normal childhood and a normal upbringing. It reminds me of a video I actually just saw. Hopefully I can find it, of a mom saying, like, listen, we need to let these kids know that people will kill them, people will hurt them. And it's true. People will literally hurt your freaking kids because they're Black and they see them as not innocent. Okay, they see them as objects, they see them as fetishes. Like, and y'all need to stop protecting your children from this shit, because it's the reality. I can't tell you how many people I knew grew up sheltered because their parents didn't want them to know certain things, and they're so sheltered to the point where they don't even know their own car insurance because mommy and daddy take care of it. It's like, this is insane. Like, what? How exactly are you helping your child grow up without you if you're going to shelter them from everything, if you're going to pay for everything, if you're going to do everything for them? And it's great that a lot of us are afforded the opportunities to be able to give our children any and everything, but we need to understand what that does to that child if they can't do anything for themselves, if they cannot recognize the dangers that lurk outside. Your child can have a childhood and they can grow up just like any other kid, but they have to be aware. Okay, I don't believe forcing them to grow up too fast and letting them have any and everything under the sun is part of, like, literally helping them grow up. It's forcing them to be seen a certain way, and most importantly, forcing them to be adultified in a sense without you really knowing it. Understand, it's not just the style. It's how society responds to Black girls specifically, right? Long-term effects of early sexualization is a lot. Like, and I feel like a lot of us are living it today. Like, and it's hard to identify unless you really sit there and think about it, or you get affected in a way, or I guess until you have children or you're around a lot of children, you start really like seeing the effects of it kind of early. Lack of self-worth, no boundaries, internalized attention seeking, or the idea of this is how I'm supposed to present myself, this is how I'm supposed to be, when in actuality, like, a lot of it is not. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, I'm sitting here thinking back of a lot of things that I've done and didn't do, and a lot of the pitfalls with men, and it's like, Yeah, a lot of it was contributed to lack of self-worth, right? Lack of self-respect. And nobody's perfect, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of things that could be avoided if we were just way more mindful in how we treat our kids. Age appropriate can still look pretty. It could still be trending. It could still be stylish. It can still be confident. It doesn't always have to be, oh, well, this is what the kids is wearing. This is what the kids is doing. This is what everybody else is doing. So I got to do it, even though it may look a little sus. What's very interesting to me is that a lot of these standards mirror adult beauty standards, but we're putting them on children and we think, well, that's on a child. And if you're looking at a child that way, then it's your fault. And it's like, I don't think you understand. What y'all need to understand is we are not thinking of that child anyway, but the person that is just around the corner. Okay, y'all be thinking, oh, it's us that are looking at children a certain way and we're putting these labels on these kids, and it's not that. We're trying to get you to understand that having your kid walk around like this, having your kid dress, act, talk, look a certain way, mirroring adult beauty standards is extremely dangerous. And you, okay, you are not immune to that, nor is your child. At the end of the day, you can't say let kids be kids and then dress them up as an adult. It just doesn't make logical sense. With that being said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Again, scan the QR code for all the links, channels, the classes that are coming up in Belleville. Like, I'd love to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for always being there. Shout out to those of you guys on the Discord, the Patreon, or the memberships. I appreciate it so very much. With that being said, I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.